Everyone, today we're going to learning about Horner method on division algorithm to factoring polynomial. So this is a quadratic equation, and the only thing I know about this equation is that one is a solution of this equation, because if you plug in one in this function, multiply 1 plus 5. And of course, 1 negative 6 plus 5 equal to 0. So 1 is a solution of this equation. That is the only thing I know, because I don't know how to factor this equation, but I know 1 is a solution of this equation. So I'm gonna use a Horner method to factor this equation. So you know that 1, negative 6, and 5 is the coefficient. So I'm gonna list this right here. 1, negative 6, and 5 is the coefficient of this equation. And you know that 1 is a solution of this equation, right? So I'm gonna list 1 here. So how to use the Horner method? So the first thing I'm gonna do is that the first coefficient is 1, right? So I just put it down. Rewrite number 1. And the next one I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna multiply it and plus this. So I multiply it and plus this. So 1 multiply 1 is 1, and plus negative 6 is gonna be negative 5. Alright. So and the next one I'm gonna multiply 1 and negative 5. 1 and negative 5. And I'm gonna plus 5 here. So 1 multiply negative 5 is negative 5, and plus 5 is 0. Right. A beautiful number is 0. So this one we call it remainder. This one is remainder. So if the last number is 0, it means you correct. The last number gotta be 0. This is the remainder. The remainder gotta be 0. So you know that? So we could rewrite the equation. So 1 and negative 5 and 0 is the coefficient of the next factor. So you know that 1 is a solution of this equation. So of course, x negative 1 is a factor of this equation, right? So x negative 1. And what is the next, like the second factor of this equation? So you know that 1, we found that 1 and negative 5, right? So 1 is the coefficient of the 1 and negative 5 is the coefficient of the next factor. So 1x negative 5 equal to 0. So this is, we already factored this polynomial. So x squared negative 6x plus 5 equal to 0. This means that x negative 1 multiply x negative 5 equal to 0. That is how the Horner method works. We're gonna go to the next example. So you see that this is an equation. So how to factor this? So the only thing I know is that negative 3 is solution of this equation, because if you plug in negative 3 to this equation, so negative 6, negative 3. If you plug in negative 3 to this equation, of course this one equal to 0, right? You could check by your calculator. And then we're gonna use Horner method. So how to use it? So we're gonna put out all the coefficients of this equation. So 1, 3, -6, and -18. So 1, 3, -6, -18 is the coefficient of this equation. So you know that -3 is a solution of this, right? So we're gonna list -3 here. And then the first coefficient we just put down. We don't do anything with it. The first coefficient, remember, just the first coefficient. And then we're gonna multiply, and then add it up. Multiply and add it up. Remember that. So multiply -3 multiply 1 and add 3. It's gonna be 0. Beautiful. And then -3 multiply 0 and add -6. So -3 multiply 0 is 0 and add -6 is gonna be -6. And then -3 multiply -6 and add -18. So -3 multiply -6 is 18. And 18 add -18 is 0. So the remainder is 0. This means we correct. Remember that the last number is gonna be 0. So we're gonna factor this. So the first thing you know that -3 is the solution of this equation. So of course x plus 3 is a factor of this polynomial, right? And then because this is x plus 3, so the next factor is gotta be quadratic, right? Quadratic. So the next one, and you know that 1, 0, -6 is the coefficient of the next factor. So the next factor is quadratic. So of course it's gonna start at x squared, and the coefficient of it is 1. And the next one is plus 0x, and next is -6 equals 0, right? So x plus 3, x squared -6 equal to 0. So we already factoring this polynomial. So and the factor of this polynomial is x plus 3 and x squared -6. So this is how the Horner method works. So this one is a very powerful tool to factoring polynomial. And if you found this video is helpful, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for this channel. Thank you so much for watching my video.